What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. All of my socials will be appearing at the bottom of the screen now for you to make sure that you are following me on all platforms, basically. So this video is about our latest win, 2-0 against Norwich, a very, very depleted Norwich side. Although fair play to them, they did come out to play. So, you know, I've got no qualms about that whatsoever at all, but I have to confess I didn't watch a lot of the game because I am currently feeling like I've been hit by the proverbial bus. My head is completely up my arse because I've just this fluey, coldy thing I seem to have just picked up. I'm sweating like a fat kid in a cake shop currently. So, unbelievably, we score after the first 31 seconds. Solomon, again, with another goal. Brilliant build-up play. Aronson into Bogle. Bogle back to Aronson. Aronson with the through ball down the line to Dan James. Dan James, lovely crossing. Solomon is there to score. And great goal, great finish overall. Brilliant. And, I mean, technically, when you look at it, that's game done, really, isn't it? I mean, they didn't really have any shots. They didn't really have anything of any note on there. It was a relatively straightforward, easy game overall. And, you know, just to point out that both Solomon and Dan James have got an 8.1 on who scored. So I'm just really happy with the result. It keeps us top. Obviously, everybody's going on with the fact of, excuse me, Burnley winning 5-0 at Plymouth. Plymouth have like the worst goal record going, so I wouldn't read too much into that by any stretch of the imagination. Sets it up nicely for Monday, obviously. It just means that the game is even more important. They're not going to, I hope I don't regret to say this now, but they're not going to turn us over 5-0, regardless of where we're playing them overall. So I'm looking forward to the match. It'll be a good test. Hopefully we stand the test of time. We come up and we do everything that we need to do. Things that annoyed me from what I could read online and bits that I saw, referee was very, very card happy within the first 15 minutes. He'd booked 3 players, 2 for us and 1 for them. Farker made substitutions early doors this time, took Tanaka off because he was probably a booking away from being sent off, and he probably should have been sent off for a tackle that he made. Rothwell was okay in parts. He needs to learn how to do a nail and flop. Released a couple of balls a bit sillily, but it is what it is. Aronson needs drug testing. It's 26 games in a row that kid started now. Incredible. Big difference between Byram and Firpo. When Firpo came on, that understanding between Solomon and Firpo was very, very good. Obviously, Firpo was the one that got us right up the pitch for the second goal. And listen, I'm one of Byram's biggest supporters. I think he's Mr. Dependable. He does everything that he does, but you can see the difference with having a proper left-footed left-back on the left-hand side. So fair play to Firpo. Ampadu and Rodon, they weren't really tested. Bogle, I'll get to in a second. Meslier legitimately had nothing to do other than catch a ball, and that was literally it. Pirro didn't have a lot to do either. Guruev came on, looked okay. Nonto came on, looked okay. Ramazani came on, looked sharp. I like what I see from Ramazani in all honesty. So I'm mildly biased, but I don't really care. I'm a big fan of Ramazani, so he forced a really good save out of the keeper as well. And like I said, we didn't have loads and loads to do. I mean, it was a weird game because our overall rating, if you like, as a team was 6.87. Norwich's was 6.16. So that kind of tells you everything that you sort of need to know. I do like Lee Nicholson basically waking up and choosing violence by announcing by announcing the attendance and it being he said the attendance and then he said, and that also includes 900 and something odd from Norwich, which was, you could just feel was a little dig. But, you know, it is what it is. In terms of the statistical side of stuff, like I said, total shots, we had 14, they had 3. That's what can you say? 2 of those were off target, 1 of theirs was blocked, so there wasn't a lot you could say that. 50% of our shots were on target. 3 of our shots were off target. 4 of the shots that we took were blocked as well. So possession, 52-48. Pass success rate, both of us high 80s, which is good. We won more aerial drills. They're bad at aerial drills from what I can remember. Corners 9, doesn't matter because we don't do anything from them. Dispossessed 9 through 9. It kind of felt like a bit of a bit half-assed is the wrong word. It kind of felt like as soon as we got the second goal, I think everybody knew that was going to be the points wrapped up pretty much. I mean, the momentum graph, when you look at it, apart from 2 sections, is legitimately just us the entire game. So, excuse me, sorry. So overall, yeah, pleased. That's what, 13, unbeaten at 13, unbeaten in 13 at home. The streak of us scoring first and not losing continues again, which is really, really good to see. Dan James with a goal and with an assist and goal. Solomon with a goal and assist. Fantastic. You can't ask any more from that. We seem to be peaking a little bit, which is good. I know there's some people complaining about stuff, but it is what it is. I said in my last video, I will take 3 points and just be happy with it. I'm not overly concerned performance-wise. I just want the 3 points. I just want us to get out of this league. So, although Solomon and James both got the 8.1s, I want to give a special mention to Bogle as well. That guy is becoming Mr. Uber consistent, and he seems to have really found his niche on the right-hand side, particularly with Dan James. Him and Dan James seem to have a really, really good understanding in terms of moving forwards and getting forwards. And, you know, he had a cracking shot as well, which Gunn did really, really well to save. So, overall, very, very happy. Obviously, the second goal that goes in that Dan James scores, Aronson whiffed at it and it kind of spooned up into the air. Their player, rather than just letting it go out, headed it back to Solomon. Solomon put a lovely cross in for Dan James, who comes in at the far post and just does what Dan James does, which steers it across the goal. That's 10 goal involvements for Dan James now this season, so he's putting up good numbers. And like I said, I've got our depth in terms of what we can bring on is just nuts now. It's so much better than last year. So much better than last year, and it feels like a real team. Obviously, Gruev can now play there. We've got, sorry. wow, massive coughing fit. Gruev coming back. We've got Ramazani coming on. We've got Nonto coming on. It's just Joseph to a certain degree coming on as well. It's just unbelievable now, the options that we actually have, and it's something that is a lot of other clubs would absolutely kill to have the same sort of options that we do. And I mean, I know a lot of people talk about Brenton Diaz and, you know, Taylor and other players that are going to other teams and stuff and everything. I don't care. I really, really don't care. And none of them would get into our first team. Absolutely none of them would get into our first team. Yes, I want to see us sign some players. We desperately, desperately need a number 10. It has to happen at some point, and probably a central defender, depending on how bad Trout's injury is. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's going to do it as quick as I possibly can. I'm sweating, and I'm probably going to pass out at some point as well. So love you all. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for stopping by and watching. Cheers.